My name is Corinne Edwards. I am 54. I'm from Rosa River Anishinaabe First Nation. I was born and raised here in Winnipeg, and I have 4 boys. So in order to try to help myself and help my kids, I called CFS and I said I need some help. They asked me what kind of help I was interested in. I let them know that I wanted, some support with, maybe because my son was he was quite the handful. And it had just been me and the kids and the father. So he didn't really have any other kids to play with. So I wanted to get him socialized. So I asked for support for getting him into daycare or some kind of preschool. And it wasn't until, they took all my information down, and I had just moved into the North End. So it was a different area for me. I was so used to like in the downtown area. And so it was kind of like a little much. It was a lot different back then compared to now. So they did kind of give me some support, and then I got pregnant with my 3rd son. And even then, she was trying to talk to me about, like the CFS worker was trying to talk to me about, maybe it might be a good idea to get my tubes tied. I'm young and I'm thinking, well, these people are here to help me. And then I met my youngest father, my youngest son, Jordan. And I got pregnant, and I went to the hospital because I was starting to spot. And the worker was like, the CFS worker came to see me, and they told me that I had to stay in the hospital because I had placenta previa. And that's why I was spotting. So it was dangerous for me to not be bedridden and in the hospital. So I ended up being hospitalized for the last 3 months of my pregnancy. And that whole 3 months that I was there, I had CFS coming, and now they were really trying to, because now this is my 4th child, they really wanted, she really started pressuring me about like, oh, do you maybe think you want to, stop having children now? And I said, well, I don't know if I'm going to have a boy or a girl. So I said, I've always wanted a girl. I have 3 boys already. I don't know whether I want to have another child or not, but, I would really love to have a daughter. And the next day she came back again. It was like almost every other day she was coming in there, and she would put this paper on the little table that they give you. And I asked her what that was, and she would say, well, this is like, so you don't have any more children. You can get your tubes tied. She'd always say, you'll have, 4 beautiful kids. And she kept like coming in there with the nurse. Even the nurse would come in, and they would sit and talk to me about where my life was going. I finally did sign the paper. So after Jordan was born, they did the procedure like right after he was born. I had to have a C-section. I just remember like my mom was there. They were saying, okay, well, the baby is out, and we're now going to perform the procedure to have your tubes tied. And I always felt like that worker just betrayed me by saying, if you sign this paper, we can give you all the support that you need, and you don't have to worry about ever getting pregnant again with an unwanted pregnancy, because she, kind of labeled my 3rd boy, Justin, as an unwanted kid because I thought for that brief time that I wanted to give him up for an adoption. But I ended up keeping him. And I just felt like, when she got me to sign that paper, like she didn't even come and see me at the hospital like a month before my youngest was born. After I'd signed that paper, she, didn't come around anymore. And I thought this is all they wanted was for me to sign that paper to get my tubes tied. I made the biggest mistake of my life was going to CFS for help because I thought they were there to help you. And instead they just ripped my family apart and took my ability to have children in the future if I met somebody that would be a good father and a good person. And I never ever did get my daughter. So, people say, oh, well, maybe it wasn't meant to be. And I said, well, you don't know what it was like to have CFS come to the hospital every single day and talk to you about this, signing that paper. And that was just like my biggest regret was doing that.